So I just got this new printer. It's called the FlashForge Creator Pro, and I bought it with my own money. I worked over the summer, and I was able to finally save up enough to buy it, and I sold one of my old printers, and that's why it's not over here anymore. It's just one of my old computers. So I saved up money for this, and I finally bought it, and it was well worth it. So I'm just gonna tell you my initial thoughts on this and how easy it was to set up. So when I got it, the unboxing was pretty easy, and I'll show you a little clip right now of me unboxing it. So it was pretty easy to unbox, and the setup was really easy. I am a little disappointed with the software though, because there's no official software for this printer. I have been using MakerBot's software, and I've been using the settings for the Replicator Dual, but I wish there was a software for this. I know there is FlashPrint, but that only works with the FlashForge Dreamer. So hopefully they come up with a solution for that. But otherwise, I'm gonna just have to use Simplify 3D, or I'm gonna have to use MakerBot's software. So I've actually done a few modifications already. The first modification, as you'll see right here, is a little thing that clips onto the back of the printer, which helps the guide tubes stay in place. So when the printer came, the guide tubes would rub up against the filament, and the filament would jam, and it was super annoying. So this just allows the filament to go through the guide tube with ease and without any trouble. The next mod, as you'll see here, is it holds the guide tube and the coil of wires together and keeps them together, and instead of spreading out. And it's pretty simple, very easy to print. So then, getting on to the fun stuff, I have some spool holders that I printed with Hatchbox filament, and I'll show you some failed prints now. I'm very disappointed with the filament it came with, because it was all tangled and it just wasn't made right, and I'm very disappointed with it. So as you can see with these failed prints, they didn't turn out well, so I was only able to use those until I got the Hatchbox filament, which I used to then print the spool holders, which came out amazing the first time I printed it. So then the next thing I printed was an SD card holder, and I actually don't use this anymore because I have a better one, as you'll see right here. And this one holds some pliers and a spatula and a few SD cards. I am a little bit disappointed though, because whenever I pull out one of the tools, normally the second SD card falls out due to the different height differences of the little pockets inside the file. So as some of you guys may know, I'm a big fan of doing different test prints. So I took about a week and a half to test this printer. So that's all I've been printing. I've been printing some of my own designs and some of other people's designs. And I have done this to test where the printer's strengths and weaknesses are. So let me show you a few test prints that I've printed with this printer. Alright, so what I'm going to show you first is a 3D Benchy, and my previous video is about the photo studio for 3D Benchy, so you can check that out right here. So just click on that if you want to watch it. So anyways, this was my first print I actually printed on the FlashForge Creator Pro. It was done with low quality, and I didn't level it at all, and as you can see, you can actually see some of the lines. I'll show you a close-up of this now. So it's kind of easy to see the lines, kind of messed up towards the back and on the bottom, but it's an okay first test print, and that was without calibrating my printer at all. So now I'm going to show you the next print. Alright, so the next print I did was a dual extrusion test. So this was pretty advanced. It's Adafruit's battery tester. So this is using conductive filament and just PLA. So you can see right there's some conductive filament right there, and these pads are conductive, and there are traces going throughout the lines here and connecting to the LED. So sadly, this did not work with coin cell batteries because it wasn't it was conductive, but only 1.5 volts ended up going through, and it wasn't able to power the LED. So that didn't work, sadly. So I'm gonna have to change the settings on this if I want it to conduct more electricity through this. But otherwise, it came out pretty well. It's a great dual extrusion test, and it's pretty cool. So now I'm gonna show you the next print. So the next prints I did were just a test of multi-part projects and stuff like that. So I did do the photo studio thing. Again, you can check it out right here, so you can click on that, but that I'm not going to go over now. You can just check out the video on that. But otherwise, I printed out some gear cubes. So far this has only worked on one of my printers, the cube, and I don't have that anymore, but otherwise, it's pretty cool that I got this this is able to work with FlashForge, and it's printed with ABS. So it's fully functional, both of them, and it's a pretty cool print. So yeah, this was a great test of the printer, and I'll show you some close-ups of this now, but I'm very excited about the different functions and different projects you can make with this printer. So let me show you the next thing. Alright, so the next thing I did was I was testing tolerances on this printer. So I printed out this platform jack that you can find on Thingiverse, and printed it as one piece, and I'll actually show you me removing it from the build platform. It was actually kind of stuck on the build platform because I put some glue on it and it just stuck a lot, but I haven't been doing that so much now, and the prints stick with the raft and it's fine. So this came out really well, and it's pretty cool how it printed as one piece. This has only worked on one of my printers so far, which is the cube, and that was a dual extrusion print where the screw was a different color, and that still worked. But it's pretty cool how you can do moving parts on this printer, and I'm very happy about that. So now I'm going to move on to some exotic filaments that I've actually printed with, so let me show you that now. So the next thing I printed, this was with a filament I've been wanting to use forever. It's a Ninja Flex phone case. I've been wanting to use this material forever, and it hasn't worked on any of my printers. My printer bot, it just buckle up. My cube, it can't use that because it's not a cube cartridge, which sucks. So it worked on the FlashForge. This was my first Ninja Flex print, and it came out really well. The only downside was that some of the layers were coming apart, as you'll see in this close-up right there. It's kind of ripped apart, but otherwise it's pretty cool. This was my first print using Ninja Flex, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So I'm going to show you bronze fill on this printer now. Alright, so here was my test print with bronze fill. I'll show you a close-up of that now. But this came out really well. You can barely see the lines. The only part that messed up was the head because of the overhang, and I should have took that into account. But otherwise, everything came out really well. I wish I would have used larger fill density for this because it's very light. I did like 5% infill. I have no idea why. I guess it's just because I wanted to test out how this worked on the FlashForge, and I didn't want to waste any material. So this came out really well. I'm still going to use my printer bot for this though, only because I love this printer and it's really cool. So this is still very cool though, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So now I'm going to show you one last thing. It's going to be a sneak peek of a project I've been working on, and I'll probably review that in next week's video, so let's check that out. So if you've been following me on Thingiverse, or if you've been checking out my Thingiverse page, that's where you can find all my files that I've designed, you've probably seen this. I've not posted any photos of this yet because it's a pretty big project. I mean, it's not that big, but I wanted a good printer to print this on. So these are some drawers, and you may be saying, well, that's pretty easy to design. I know it is, but it's really fun to make these things, and you can customize them. And I designed this system, and I wanted it to be simple. I'll probably add another middle drawer that you can have, or middle section that is stackable with these, but I'm very happy with how it turned out, and soon I'll probably make a different version with deeper drawers. But I designed this and kept in mind that I want to use this for electronic components like resistors, LEDs, little things Allen wrenches, stuff like that. So this came out really well, and I will show you this in next week's video, so stay tuned for that. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please stick around for more videos, and if you want to follow me on Thingiverse, go do that, and you can find all my design files there, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you guys so much, and